Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Beautifully Nerding. I'm your host, Auntie Bri, and everybody's about to be in Italy this summer. So this week, I decided to go support our girl, Halle Baile, and I went to see You, Me, and Tuscany. And as someone who has never claimed to be the rom-com kind of girly, this one got me. I don't know if it was the beauty of our leads, the excitement for seeing both of them in new projects, or just the possibility for what this means for more cutesy and simple movies, or what. Because it is exciting to see a movie with two black leads that is just two people falling in love. You know, there's no deep messaging about the plight of black people. There's no tragically deep backstory that the main character is overcoming. It is simply a girl on her eat, pray, love adventure in Italy, and silly shenanigans ensue. Now, the poster would have you believe that this is a black movie, and granted, technically, since our leads are black, I guess kind of it's a black movie. But there are some sayings and musical choices that let you know there were some black folks that had some opinions in the writer's room of this movie. And while it is definitely a movie that could have leads of any ethnicity, we get to see a black girl being soft and whimsical and dreamy and heavy on the delulu. But unfortunately, it is not as simple as this cute movie with two light-skinned cuties. Nah, we have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and somehow the weight of future black rom-coms rests on this movie. So filmmaker Nina Lee spoke online about how she went to meet with a studio about a rom-com that she did, and they were like, that's cute, but let's see how this other movie does first. So something that has absolutely nothing to do with her and her creative endeavors could literally make or break the trajectory of her career. Like, how is that fair? And we already know if it were XYZ person, this wouldn't have been the issue. Correct. But unfortunately, we have to prove ourselves to take up space. New IP is struggling in the influx of nostalgic content and live action remakes of movies that came out barely a decade ago. Looking at you, Moana. But I'm not here to gripe about the state of affairs of black people in the entertainment industry. I'm here to talk spoiler-free about a cute little Italian romp that could. Of course, this movie just came out last weekend, and I fully want everyone to go see it on their own. So, like I said, this will be a spoiler-free review. So, let's talk You, Me, and Tuscany. While it was great seeing Halle being the leading lady that she was meant to be, and seeing Rege in general, my spirit was telling me to look up the writers. Because some of the moments felt, let's say, culturally significant. Some of those felt a little forced. Halle yelling about her edges when caught on the sprinklers. The only other black women we see being caricatures and extremely over the top in this pretty calm movie. And including the sassiest of sassy black best friends. The one time Halle's character attempts to point out that they're the only two black people in this small town or village, Rege's character cuts her off and says, "Oh, that we speak English?" Of course, she gives him a look that's like, now you know that's not what I was about to say. And the movie is not afraid to say that both of the leads are black, but in its attempt to be colorblind, I fear that it does the complete opposite. And that's because, of course, this movie is written by a white husband and wife team, Ryan and Kristen Eagle. And I think that this highlights the feeling of the leads could have been of any ethnicity by the way the story was written. It feels like the movie was written and completed, and then Halle and Rege were cast, and a few small details were added in to emphasize the fact that our characters are black. I don't feel like it was done maliciously. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's just, it feels a little pandery, One more example that I thought about. So, how in the trailer, they get caught in the sprinkler and Rege takes his shirt off and in slow-mo, and we get the commentary from the tour bus.
You can eat, pray, and love me, baby.
Well, in the movie, that version is actually at the end. The version that happens at the point in that movie has a white lady in Coco Brown's position of thirsting after a fine man kissing you in the rain. And while it is still a funny moment, it's not as over the top as the full scene at the end is. I don't know, certain choices like that just made me feel weird as a black girl who loves love and was elated to see two beautiful people fall in love, that the rest of the black people that they mention are either dead or overly dramatic to the point to where I would have skipped past those scenes if I had the remote. But this is getting very negative, and I'm feeling like I'm stepping into my video essay bag. So let's actually talk about the movie. So we have Anna, who is played by Halle Bailey, and she meets Mateo, played by Lorenzo D'Amore, and they talk a little, they flirt a lot, and he tells her about his life in Italy, and she gets all dreamy-eyed. He shows her a picture of his house and says how it's sitting there empty, and Halle is like, you know what? I do deserve a trip to Tuscany. And off she goes. And her best friend Claire, played by Aziza Scott, is like, okay, let's slow down a bit. Maybe don't run off to another country on a whim. But Anna is like, no, I'm gonna do it. Because like I said earlier, Delulu is the Salulu. And of course, as soon as Anna gets to Tuscany, shenanigans are ensuing. She goes to this deli, I believe, to get a sandwich, but she is cut in line by Michael, who's played by Rege-Jean Page, and he takes the last of the Sammy that she wanted, and she's just like, oh, so you're just a dickhead. And so Anna tries to be a decent person and get a room like any logical person in the situation would, but there are no rooms left in town because of this big festival that's happening. So she ends up breaking into Mateo's house to crash there. But what she doesn't know, because of course, why would Mateo say this, is that Mateo's family keeps up with the house. And when they find her there, you know, she does the same thing and agrees with their assumptions that this strange woman in their son's house is marrying him, because that's the logical thing to do, huh? And so this is the catalyst for all of the rest of the shenanery. You know, everyone is so excited for the possibility that Mateo might be coming back and excited to have a new family member, and they welcome her in so fully. Well, except for Nona. Nona knows something ain't right, and she's not falling for the okie doke. But since Anna wasn't actually feeling Mateo in the first place, and you got fine ass Michael right here in your face being funny and charming and full of abs, they start to fall for each other. Anna is supposed to be marrying his cousin brother. I'll explain that in a second. So they're both trying to fight what is obviously forming between them, and it's this dramatic ass will they, won't they, while the family falls in love with her, and they're like, no, you're a part of the family, like you were in it now.
Stop this.
Will your mama be coming? I don't have una familia. You do now.
And Anna is like, well, seems like I screwed up bigly, right? So I feel like had Reggae not been a black man, it just would have been either like they would have been just cousins or just brothers, would have been the actual catalyst for the conflict within the movie. But I feel like it had to be specifically like, how do we add an aspect of where this random black character came from? The cousin brother is because Mateo's aunt is the white woman who I guess found some black man at some point to have Reggae with. And Reggae's parents ended up being killed in a car accident when he was 10. Mateo's mom kind of, adopted him. Mateo and Michael grew up as technically cousins, but also technically brothers. So that's why cousin brother. It's so interesting. Like we never even see a picture like of Michael's parents, but it's just like, yeah, his mom was white. That's where the rest of the family came from. And like did the mama move to America for a little bit and she had Michael? Like I'm just not understanding. Hey, editing Bri here. I actually do have the correct answer to this. It was just a throwaway line, so I kind of forgot about it because Reggae actually says in the movie that his mom and Reggae says in the movie that he and his parents lived in London for 10 years until they passed, and then he moved back to the Tuscan village for him to live with the rest of his family. So that's where she found her black man, because there's plenty of black people in London. Ain't no other black people in this village, so she ain't found him there. So but yeah, so back to the video. The only other person we ever see leave this village is Mateo. And he went to New York to hoe around for a little bit and wasn't even trying to come back. I saw someone write online that Anna is a scammer from New York by way of Atlanta who finessed the soft life with a light-skinned family man. And honestly, agree. That's that's legit the movie. Cause Atlanta scammers are so delusional about everything, but everything be working out. But like the movie itself is so cute. Like I definitely dropped a tear or two at the cuteness of it all. You know, it follows your typical story beats of your rom-com. Hey, editing Bri here again. Not sure what happened. My microphone decided it didn't want to work anymore. But yes, the movie is very, very cute. It follows all of the rom-com tropes of everything like that. I really enjoyed myself. I definitely want to watch it again. I'm still trying to figure out if I would buy it on physical media. Like I think I would, but I'm not quite sure. I definitely will watch it when it comes on streaming. But if you all have seen it, if you all are thinking about seeing it, please leave a comment down below about what your thoughts were, what you're feeling going into it. I definitely want to have some conversation with other people to see if anyone else was thinking as deeply as I was about some of the things, or if I am overreacting, because you know that's a possibility. And yeah, if you all have made it this far into the video, please leave a like on this video. Make sure to share it with all of your friends. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.